to Bottoms Down, Chair Yoga for Everyone. I'm Carol. I'm glad you've joined us today. Today is day 21 of our 28-day chair yoga journey together. We're on the home stretch now. So today we're going to take a little rest and do some relaxing poses. We'll both do seated and standing. And remember, if you would click that subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. It is free. Just leave me a comment if you wish, and let's get started. So we're going to move forward in our chair. We're going to have our hands resting lightly on the thighs and flip those palms out, connecting to our body, mind, and breath. Grounding our feet to the earth, grounding our sits bones to the chair. Let's lift our heart, lower our shoulders out of the ears, close the eyes, and connect to that breath. So we're feeling that natural inhalation and exhalation. And then let's elongate the breath, inhaling a little more deeply. Exhaling a little more completely. Do that a couple more times. And release. Bring your hands to your heart and set your intentions for today's practice. Just one more breath here. Bring your hands down to your thighs and open your eyes. So we're going to do another breathing exercise. So in Bottoms Down Chair Yoga, we often will use the breath. It's called Ujjayi. And I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Ujjayi. You know what, I learned Ujjayi, and it's just one of those things that's really hard for me to correct myself. But anyway, it is called Ujjayi. And it involves breathing, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And then the other idea in that breath is that we engage our diaphragm, which we talk about a lot. I know I go into that diaphragm a lot, and also those intercostal muscles. Now, if you play a wind instrument or if you sing in a choir, you know all about diaphragmatic breathing, right? We've learned that. We learned that really early on as we begin to play an instrument. But if you haven't done that and you really don't know what diaphragmatic breathing is all about, if you'll just simply lie down on your back and breathe, you'll see the rise and fall of your belly, right? The belly will rise as you inhale. The lungs are filling with air, and then it drops as you exhale. That's that diaphragm working, that inhale and exhale. It's also getting some assistance with those intercostal muscles, which are the ones right between the ribs. So to begin, let's just take a deep breath in through our nose and feel the air as it passes across your throat. Let's do that. And now, as you exhale, I also want you to exhale through the nose and feel that air crossing the throat again. So let's do that again. Inhale, exhale. Do that one more time. Inhale and exhale. Okay, and then just breathe normally. So you're feeling the air going in and out of the nose and across the throat. So we're going to do that same thing, but we're going to try to move the breath down into our diaphragm. So instead of keeping that breath up in the chest, we're going to try to get it down here into the belly, okay? So let's do that. Inhale through the nose. See if you can extend that belly and feel that belly breath. And then exhale. Pull the belly in. Exhale out through the nose. Do that again. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale, exhale, and then breathe normally. Okay, so the very final thing we're going to do there is we're going to try to make our exhalation longer than our inhalation. I'm not going to count because sometimes it can make you dizzy, and I don't want anything to make you dizzy. So if you're inhaling and exhaling and trying to add in the diaphragm and trying to count, it might be a little too much. So I just want you to try to make that exhalation a little longer than the inhalation, just at your own pace. Go ahead and do that a couple of times. And breathe normally. So sometimes we even make noise. I don't know if you could hear me through the microphones, but I was making a lot of noise as I inhale and exhale. And that's very common in that Ujjayi breath. Okay, excellent work. Well, we're going to move on now into a wrist stretching series. So I'm going to place my hands in my lap, all right? And then I'm going to interlace my fingers. Now, I'm going to bring my arms up, and I want you to press the palms out and away from you. You feel that? A little stretch. Now, I'm going to lengthen my hands up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to lean. So it's a little bit like leaning mountain, isn't it? It's very much like leaning mountain. And then up we go, and then we're going to lean the other way. And then we're going to come up. We're going to bring those arms out. We're going to bring them down, and our palms are going to be facing up in our lap again. Okay, so I want you to look at which pinky finger is on bottom, okay? And then I want you to interlace your fingers the other way. And it feels weird. Okay, so my hands are resting in my lap. Now I'm going to bring my arms up, and I'm going to press those arms away. I know it feels weird. It's okay. Let's take our hands to the ceiling. And then we're going to lean our mountain again. And up. And lean. And up. We're going to bring those arms out. And we're going to bring them down. And that palms are going to face up. Okay. Let's take it out and just shake those hands just for a little bit. Okay, so the next one is going to be riding the wave. So we're going to interlace our fingers the way you want to. And then see what I'm doing? I'm bending one wrist, and then the other wrist. Kind of see what's happening there. And then I'm going to do the other side. So it's just kind of riding the wave. There's no real correct way to do this. We're just feeling our wrists kind of, stretching, and then we're going to go the other way. Nice. Again, don't worry too much about exactly what it looks like. It's just the idea is stretching into those wrists and release. All right, very good. So we're going to bring our arms by our side, and I want you to make just a really light fist. Now, I want you to rotate your wrists up towards your body. Really, it's kind of more of a fist, isn't it? And then we're going to take the fist down, and then we're going to rotate out. Do you see what I'm doing there? And down. Let's bring those in and down and out and down. We're going to do that one more time. In and down and out and down and release. Okay. Now, let's bring our arms out front, make that light fist, and then we're just going to rotate to one direction and the other direction. And let's do that again. Just a little rotation there, up and the other way. And release. So we're going to have our palms together right here in front. Now, I'm calling this open the book. So the pinky finger is going to be your hinge. So you're going to open your book. Your palms are facing you. I'm hinging right at those pinky fingers. Now the backs of the hands are going to be together, and I'm going to rotate so that my fingertips are pointing in towards my body. Now my fingertips are going to point down towards the floor. Then they're going to point out away from me. Now they're going to go back down towards the floor. They're going to come towards my body, and then I'm going to rotate, hinge at the pinky fingers and bring the palms together. Now I'm going to do that again, but I'm going to hinge at the thumbs instead of the pinky fingers. See what I'm doing there? Then I'm going to bring the backs of the hands together. Fingertips point away from me. Finger point down and then towards my body. And if you can go up, go up. Don't feel like you have to. And then rotate back towards my body, down towards the floor, out away, come up, hinge at the thumbs, bring the palms together, and release. All right, so good wrist rotation there, right? Shake it out a little bit. All right, let's take this hand. All I'm going to do is I'm going to grab gently and I'm going to pull on the palm of that hand and feel a nice little stretch. Let's release it and we're going to do that again. A nice little stretch here. Release and we're just going to do the other side. It's just a very gentle pull. I'm not pulling hard on that. And release it, and one more time. Just a little stretch again for the wrist. And release. Okay, very, very good. So now we're going to do eagle arms. So I'm going to bring my arms to the side. My palms are facing out, okay? Now I'm going to cross my right arm on top. So I've got one elbow on top of the other elbow, and I'm going to bounce 3 times. Now I'm going to bend at my elbows, and I'm going to bring the backs of my palms together. Okay? Lift up. Now, if you can, bring the fronts of the palms together. Go for it. If that's too much for you, then don't. Stay with backs of the hands together. Again, we're going to lift up, and we're going to bring those forearms away from our body. Now, I'm going to twist to the left, and I'm going to come center, and I'm going to twist to the right, and I'm going to come center, and I'm going to unravel and take a little break. Okay, I know that's pretty intense. So remember, you can always just do backs of hands together. It's fine. All right, out we go. Now this time, that left arm is going to be on top. So you've got one elbow on top of the other. You're going to bend your elbows. Maybe the backs of the hands are together. Lift up. Maybe the fronts of the hands are together. Can you lift any higher? Forearms away from the face. We're going to turn to the right. And we're going to face center. We're going to turn to the left. And we're going to face center. And we're going to unravel those arms and maybe give those shoulders a little roll. All right, very, very good. So the next thing is called Namaste, hands behind the back. So we're going to take our right arm, it doesn't matter, and we're going to take this arm and we're going to, the palm is going to face back. So you're bending at the elbow. See, it's a little hinge here, and you're going to place that hand right behind your back. Now the other hand, the same thing. Palm faces back. You've got a little hinge happening here, right? Then you're going to place that hand back behind you. I'm going to turn so you can see what I'm doing behind my back. Now I'm going to make a little steeple. See, I've got my fingertips together, and I'm going to press my hands up and maybe bring those palms together. So Namaste, hands, but behind the back. I know, right? It's a good stretch. I'm feeling that stretch in those upper arms. My chest is open. I have one more breath here, and let's release that. Roll those shoulders again. We're only doing that one once, okay? Very good. So I'm going to take my right knee, and I'm going to open it wide, and then I'm going to bring my left knee, and I'm going to bring it to meet the other leg, and I'm facing the opposite wall. So my legs are facing towards a wall. Bring your hands up to the ceiling. Now, starting with this outside hand, you're going to windmill around and face me. Okay? We're going to bring those hands up to the ceiling, and then we're going to windmill around and we're going to face the back of our chair. Then we're going to bring those hands up, and we're going to do that again. Windmill around and face me. Make sure those hips stay facing forward. And up we go. You should feel a good stretch into the side waist. Windmilling and looking over the back of the chair. Fingertips to the ceiling. Bring the hands down and release. Okay, let's face forward. Is that okay? All right, we're going to do the other side now. So we're going to take that left knee and we're going to open it nice and wide. Bring that right knee around. So now I'm facing the other side. Hands to the ceiling. Windmill and face me. Hands to the ceiling. Windmill and face over the back of your chair. Hands to the ceiling. Windmill and face me. Make sure those hips and knees are facing forward. Hands to the ceiling. Last time. Windmill and face over the back of your chair. Hands to the ceiling. Bring the hands down to your lap and face forward. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is a child's pose, and then the two add-ons in our child's pose is a forward fold and a ragdoll. So I'm here to tell you right now, if those two don't work for you, then you're going to stick with child's pose. It is fine, okay? So we're going to take our feet a little bit wide because we need to have a spot for our body to hang out. Your hands are going to be palms facing down. Your forearms are just going to rest here on your thighs. You're going to kind of round your upper back. Let the head fall between your legs. So this is child's pose. We have one more breath. Now we're going to roll it up into a seated position and take just a moment. So how did that feel? So the idea is that you're just letting yourself go. So you're supported, your hands are on those legs. Let's do that one more time, just like that. So nice long spine, hands are resting on the thighs, palms are facing down, right? They're just kind of, arms are kind of hanging between the legs. Let that heart fall forward. Tuck that chin. Let the head fall. It's just a seated child's pose. And let's roll it up. Okay. So that's a great version. And if you want to stick with that version, that's great. If you're with me and you're feeling okay and you want a little bit more, I'm going to come to that same version of child's pose. But what I'm going to do is then I'm going to take my arms off of my legs and I'm going to let myself fall a little further. Maybe I'm just going to hold on to my ankles. Or maybe your feet go to the floor, right? So I'm going to let you decide what feels best for you. And if at any time you get dizzy, getting the head below the heart, then don't do that. Just lift your head back up and keep your head above the heart, okay? So let's give it a try, see what we think. Let's come into that. First of all, that child's pose. Then if you want a little bit more, you're going to go ahead and grab your ankles and let that heart fall a little further. And then maybe your hands go down to the floor. So now we're in a seated forward fold. So we've moved from child's pose into seated forward fold. We're going to let our head fall. I'm kind of looking behind my chair. I'm looking under my chair and back, if that feels okay for you. Nice stretch for the back and for the lower back, upper back. I'm even feeling my neck stretching. Okay, ready? We're going to grab our thighs. Let's hold on as we come up slowly, okay? I want you to support yourself. Protect that low back. And I don't want you to get dizzy. Okay, so the very final thing we're going to do, we're going to get back into whatever version you like, child or forward fold. Then, if it feels okay, you're going to let go, grab your elbows, and we'll hang out in ragdoll. Now, ragdoll is going to give you even more stretch for the back, okay? So that's kind of where you're going to feel it. So let's do it again. This is your version if you want to hang out in child's pose. This is your version if you want to come on down into that forward fold. Go ahead and let the head fall if that feels okay for your body. Now, you're going to take your hands off of your ankles or the floor. You're going to grab your elbows and hang out in that ragdoll. So there's the back a lot. Just stretching into that back. We have one more breath here. All right, drop your hands first. Now, go ahead and put your hands on one on each thigh. Tuck the chin and roll it up into seated. And take a little break. How did that feel? I love that. So that is an inversion, right? So anytime we get our head below our heart is an inversion. And if it makes you dizzy, don't do it. It's okay. But it feels good to me. I like it for my back. And so anyway, all right, so if we're all feeling good, then we're going to come up to standing, and we're going to be on the right side of our chair. Now, this is a series that is a little bit of body awareness, okay? So if it makes you uncomfortable to close your eyes, you're going to keep your eyes open, and that's going to be fine. But maybe you just soften the gaze, right? So instead of looking out, maybe you just soften that gaze. Don't let your head fall, just your eyes kind of fall. Let's bring our hands to our heart. Now, I'm going to go ahead and close my eyes. It feels okay for me, but I want you to do what feels good for you. Pull that belly in, right? Belly, belly, belly. This is not balance, so if you want to hold the chair, you can. Bring your hands to heart. We're going to rock our weight forward into the balls of our feet. Then we're going to bring the weight back center. Then I want you to lean the weight into the heels and lift all 10 toes. You're going to put all 10 toes back down on the mat. We're going to lean a little bit to the right. That left foot stays down though. It doesn't come up off the mat. Bring your weight center. We're going to lean the other way. Bring the weight center. Let's bring our weight forward. The heels stay down, but the weight is in the balls of the feet. Let's bring the weight center. Now bring the weight into the heels. Lift the 5 toes of your right foot. Starting with your pinky, you're going to put them down one at a time. Lift the 5 toes of the other foot. Starting with your big toe, you're going to put them down one at a time. Bring your weight forward. Center. Lean back, lift all 10 toes, and place all 10 toes on the mat. Lean to the left. Come center. Lean to the right. Come center. And release. Very good. We're going to come into an extended mountain pose, but it's going to be a little different than what I have done in the past. So we're going to bring our hands up, but I want you to think like hugging a tree. So instead of the arms nice and long, they're going to have a little bit of bend. Pull your belly in. Now we're going to lean forward just a little bit. Don't feel like you've got to lean too far forward. And then we're going to come up. Come back to goalpost arms. Now you're going to take your left palm and you're going to bring it across to your right arm. Don't bring the arm to the palm. Make this hand come forward. Then we're going to open. And then we're going to take our right hand and bring it across. Don't bring the left hand forward to meet it. Make your right hand come all the way across. Then we're going to lean and come center and lean and come center. Arms up, hug your tree. Lean forward. And up we go. Goalpost arms. One arm comes across and center. Other arm comes across and center. Lean and center. Lean and center. What's next? Up. Hug your tree. A little brain work, right? You remember? What's next? Can we do that one more time without any cues? We've got this. What's next? Do you remember? Lean? Yeah, you got it. and release. Very good. All right, let's come to seated. So we're going to move forward in our chair and take those feet a little bit wide, okay? Now, you're going to let your knees fall to the right. Put your hand back here on the chair behind you. Now, if it feels okay, let's do this again before we add on. Let's bring the knees up, and then we're going to let those knees fall the other way. So I want to give you this version first, okay? And it's a great version, and then bring those knees up. Now, if you want a little bit more, you're going to bring the knees over. Then you're going to pick this leg up, and place that foot on that leg. So you're going to get more stretch here. Hold on to that chair behind you, lifting up through the heart, shoulders, or back. I know, right? A little bit more stretch there. I feel it too. One more breath. Okay, let's take this foot off. Bring the knees up. Now we're going to let those knees fall the other way. And then we're going to pick that foot up and we're going to place it on the outside of that leg. Oh my goodness. That's quite a stretch for me. I don't know about you, but I feel that one. One more breath here. Okay, let's take the foot off. Bring those knees up and sit back. Let's move into Shavasana pose. Hands are going to rest lightly on those thighs. We're leaning back if you want. Flip those palms up to the ceiling. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out.
Best version of you. No feeling lasts forever. If the way you feel is holding you back, change it. Right now, you can replace futility with hope. Right now, you can transform apathy into enthusiasm. Have you had a disappointing few minutes, or day, or month? Here is where the disappointment ends and a more fruitful, fulfilling life begins. You will always face challenges and difficult situations, yet you don't ever have to let any outside conditions get you down. You decide who you are, how you feel, where to focus your attention and energy. Decide in a way that uplifts your life and the lives around you. The world is as it is. Meet that world with the very best version of you and do the good work to bring more positive possibilities to life.
Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Reach up with the right hand. Give the head a gentle tug, pressing that left hand down towards the floor. Release it. Drop your chin towards your chest. Reach up with the hands. Give the head a gentle tug. Release it. Drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. Reach up with the left hand. Give the head a gentle tug, pressing that right hand down towards the floor. Release it. Look up just slightly. Open your mouth if you want to stretch your jaw. Bring your hands to your heart. Honoring one another, we say Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. We've made it to the end of day 21. Please keep showing up. Click the subscribe button, leave me a comment, and I'll see you tomorrow.